Ever scroll through social media and seen people saying things like debt is bad or stay away from loans at all costs? Ever wondered why, at the same time, rich people seem to use debt all the time and somehow get even richer? It sounds confusing, right? How can something most people fear become a tool that wealthy people use to build massive wealth? Well, today we're diving into how rich people actually use debt, how it works, and why it can either make you wealthier or completely broke depending on how you use it. So what is debt? What exactly is debt? Simply put, debt is money you borrow that you promise to pay back later, usually with extra money called interest. That extra money is the cost of borrowing. Think of it like this. Imagine your friend lends you $100 today, but says, pay me back $110 next month. That extra $10 is the interest. Now, most people hear that and instantly think, why would I ever agree to pay more money later just to get money now? And honestly, that's a fair question, because if you use debt the wrong way, that's exactly what happens. You just end up paying more for things you didn't even need. But rich people don't see debt like that. They see it as a tool. Good debt versus bad debt. Not all debt is created equal. Rich people don't just borrow money randomly. They separate debt into two main types, good debt and bad debt. Think of it like food. Some food helps your body grow stronger, gives you energy, and improves your health over time. Other food might taste amazing in the moment, but slowly damages your health if you keep consuming it. Debt works the exact same way. Bad debt is what traps most people. This is borrowing money to buy things that lose value or don't make you any money back. Things like expensive phones, designer clothes, or a car that drains your finances every single month. The moment you buy them, they start losing value, but your debt stays the same. That's a losing game. Good debt, on the other hand, is used to buy things that can either make you money or grow in value over time. Things like businesses, rental properties, or investments. So the goal isn't to avoid debt completely. The goal is to avoid bad debt and learn how to use good debt strategically. The rental property, for example. Let me break this down with a simple story. Meet Daniel. Daniel has been saving money for years and finally has $20,000. Now, most people in his position might use that money to upgrade their lifestyle, maybe buy a nicer car or move into a more expensive apartment. But Daniel thinks differently. Instead, he uses that $20,000 as a down payment on a small rental property worth $100,000. The bank covers the remaining $80,000. This right here is the key moment. Daniel just used debt to control an asset that is 5 times bigger than the money he actually has. Now here's where it gets interesting. He rents out the property for $800 per month. His monthly loan payment to the bank is $500. After covering maintenance and other small costs, he still keeps a profit every single month. So think about what's happening here. Someone else is helping him pay off his debt while he's also making money on top of it. That's completely different from bad debt. Fast forward 5 years, how do rich people actually profit? The value of Daniel's property has now increased from $100,000 to $150,000. That's a $50,000 increase. But remember, Daniel only put in $20,000 of his own money. Because he used debt, he benefited from the growth of the full $100,000 property, not just his initial $20,000. That's powerful, and it doesn't stop there. Over those 5 years, his tenant has been consistently paying rent, which means the loan keeps shrinking. So Daniel now owns more and more of the property over time without putting in extra effort. This is how wealth quietly builds in the background. But let's not pretend it's all perfect. What if things go wrong? What if Daniel can't find tenants for a few months? Or the property suddenly needs expensive repairs? Or worse, what if property prices drop instead of going up? He still has to pay the bank. No excuses. If he can't keep up with those payments, he could lose the property entirely. This is the part most people ignore. Debt doesn't just increase your potential rewards, it also increases your risk. Now leverage is the real secret. The strategy rich people use is called leverage. Leverage simply means using borrowed money to control something bigger than what you could afford on your own. Think of it like using a lever to lift a heavy object. With the right position, A small amount of force can move something much larger. Debt works the same way with money. Used correctly, it accelerates your growth. Used carelessly, it can collapse your finances. Why rich people love debt. So why do rich people actually use debt instead of avoiding it completely? First, it allows them to keep their own cash. Instead of putting all their money into one investment, they spread it across multiple opportunities. Second, they use debt to buy assets that generate income. That means the investment itself helps pay back the debt. Third, they benefit from growth on the full value of the asset, not just the money they personally invested. In simple terms, they use other people's money to build their wealth. But here's the most important part. They don't use debt to look rich. They use debt to become rich. So there you have it. Debt isn't just something to fear or avoid. It's a tool. And like any tool, it depends on how you use it. In the wrong hands, it can destroy your finances and keep you stuck for years. But in the right hands, it can help you build serious wealth over time. If you're just starting out, don't rush into taking on debt. Focus on understanding how money works first. Then learn how to use debt strategically, because the goal isn't to borrow more. The goal is to grow more. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos breaking down financial concepts into simple terms. And drop a comment letting me know what the topic you want me to explain next.